All right, just a quick 5 minutes recap on what we did last time because of uh, the person just joining us. So this is not our first time in approaching Python, but just for us to be on the same page. So we actually started looking at general introduction to Python as a programming language we want to use for analyzing data. What we covered in that section was the definition of Python, how to set up a development environment. In other words, a platform or an interface that allows us as programmer, particularly learning Python for data analysis, to write our code and also execute them. And that came about us knowing a package called Anaconda. Anaconda. So I told us in that section that Anaconda is like a total package that offers us various softwares. Some of them are for other purposes. Some of them are for data analytics. And I told us that the ones that concerns us directly are the libraries and the notebook. I also explained that before you can analyze data with Python, you need to install Anaconda, which is serving as a server. Serving as a server, in other words, is the one funding the framework, which is the Jupyter Notebook, that is just a platform that allows us to bring all our data aspects in one place for us to be able to derive actionable insights from the data. I also talk about libraries, and I said libraries are functions. In fact, we can define library as a collection of functions. In other words, if we want to conceptualize it, we can see library as different containers that stores different functions. So when we consult library in Python for analyzing or reprocessing our data, what we are simply doing is telling Python to offer us some functions. Probably we want to use those functions for reprocessing the data or for performing different calculations on such data. So let's have it at the back of our mind that anytime we use the word library, we are talking about a container that contains different functions. Now, but I mentioned in that class that you are not expected, or let me put it this way, it is not professional that we start using a language that we do not understand to analyze data. So with that digression, I decided to hold on the direct application of Python in analyzing data and shift my focus to understanding the language itself. Then we can now use it after we have understood it to an extent. We can start using it to communicate to our data. So this entire section, which is going to run approximately 3 hours, I'm still going to dedicate it for the language understanding. We all know that Excel is an application also recommended for data analysis. But Python is the most used or the highest recommended machine language, or let's say data science, or even data analysis tool or programming language. So there is need for us to understand it because it's very versatile. Like we also learned in that section, we highlighted some of the areas Python can be applied outside the reason why we are learning it right now, data analysis. We mentioned web development. We mentioned game development. We mentioned application development and so forth. So we also talk about IDEs. We talk about IDE. And then if I ask what is that your name again, sir? Please, if I ask I think he was in that class, what did we define or describe as IDE? Because as programmers, we need to understand these terms. They are our terms.
Hello,
What,
sir.
sir, I'm with you, sir.
Okay, we did define IDA as integrated development environment,
Okay,
which is a software for um, it's a software used for writing, debugging, and testing our code.
perfect. So that is exactly the definition of IDE. So just to break it down because this section, I'm going to use another Python highly recommended IDE, which I promise. So that the idea is that I want us to be conversant with any of these IDE. They can actually be used to analyze data. So it depends on which one is prescribed for us. But that does not mean that we cannot work outside it. And that is the reason why the whole of this section, since I am dwelling on the Python language itself, I'm going to use another IDE. Then when we get to the aspect where we start analyzing or speaking to our data, I will now switch to the prescribed IDE, which is Jupyter Notebook through Anaconda. Okay, so an IDE is just like a software, like you just mentioned, that provide you a development environment, an interface that allows you to write your code and also uh, implement the code. There is time for writing code and there is time for testing the code. So the IDE has different key features that comes with it. It has ability to offer you that interface for writing your code. It also have the ability of interpreting those code and also debugging them if in case there is any issue. Okay, so that is what we describe as an IDE, which is part of what we actually dwell on in that section. Okay, so without taking much of our time, so what I would like us to do, any of this IDE can be used to execute Python codes. So which means that even though you don't have the particular one I am going to use, what I will do is I will just highlight how you can install it. That is, if after the class you feel you want to use it. So I don't want to bother us doing it right now. After all, you have one, you can walk along with me. All right. Now, there is a popular IDE called PyCharm. PyCharm. I don't know if anybody have heard of it. Let me quickly show us the logo. PyCharm. Has anybody heard of this IDE? Please, you can unmute yourself. I'll respond. If you have heard of PyCharm, is one of the popular IDE customized for Python coding. So, it is not that light like the Visual Studio Code, which is another IDE, which can also be used to write Python code. Now, the PyCharm, once you install it, or the processes for installing it, is that you have to go to a browser and download it. You download the community version. You can see the one I have here is what? PyCharm what? Community. So you download the community version. So the community version enables you to run the free version or the open source, which means it is free on the internet. So that is all you need. And then let me just show us briefly, should in case you want to download it later. So it's very simple to download and then install. So what you do is that you just launch your browser and just type download. Just type download PyCharm. And then once you click on it, it will bring you to a Google search results page like this. So from here, we get it from JetBrains. So that is the best recommended website to download the PyCharm. So you click on it. So once you click on it, it will bring you to an interface like this. So I just talked about downloading the community version. So for you to be precise with the one you want to download, while you are typing download, I will advise you type download PyCharm community version so that it can directly take you to that version. So there is a pro version, which is professional version. The implication is that you may be asked to pay for it. That one is a paid version of it. So once you have downloaded it, then you go to your download folder. You should be able to find it there. Let me just show us how it looks like. So this is it. You can see it here. Once you have downloaded it, you go to your download folder. You should be able to see there, and then you double click on it. Let's say I want to install this one now. You just double click on it. So you get a Windows security alert. Click on yes to continue. So that will prompt you a setup interface like this. And then all you need till you get to the last step is to click on next, 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 and then click on finish. So should in case you have any issue, you can easily consult maybe ChatGPT or consult YouTube. Just go there and type how to install it. That is, if you're having any difficulty, but it's very straightforward. Now, once you have installed it, you will be given an icon on the desktop. And then from that icon, you launch it, and then it will open an interface like this. But it won't get here directly because you have to set up your file. So if I remove this, this is how it will open. Okay. Now, the first thing to do is to create a file. You have to create file, just like we did when we were working with Jupyter Notebook. After launching the Anaconda, we took time to create a project folder. We called it in, and then we created a notebook inside that file. So the same thing here. So how do you create file here? You go to these three icons. In your own case, if it shows file instead of the hamburger, the three icons that I click on that brought file. So any of them, Then when you get there, you select new, select new, and then you specify what type of new are you targeting. Because the idea is that you can connect your PyCharm to a GitHub repository. Now, if that is the case, then that is why you have some of the command here. But since we are working locally, you click on new projects. So once you click on new project, it's going to prompt you an interface like this, indicating the project name. So it has already given you a project name. So if you are not okay with this Python project 4, so all you need to do is to change it. You can actually delete it and type any name you want. So let's say the name is Aguero. So that is the name. Now, all this might not be checked in your own case because you are going through this process for the first time. So what you expect to do is what? Create Git repository. So GitHub is an open platform where people can probably showcase what they have, their achievements, particularly if you are learning programming. So maybe one of this day, or maybe I'll try and look at how I can record a short video on how you can set up a GitHub account. It is very important you have a portfolio as an IT professional, probably an IT practice person who is trying to gain how do I put it, the awareness. So you need to have a platform where you are updating the world, the employers, what you can do when you want to search for a remote job. So that is what GitHub is a repository where people save their life code, save their projects. So when a company that you want to work for asks you to provide your portfolio, you can just give them your GitHub URL. So the good thing about it is that it's not a website that you must host, it's free. So except when you want to go into some core areas, that is when you will be asked to register properly. So you make sure that if you want to get, in other words, there are so many commands that you want to synchronize from GitHub. So many dependencies that you want to get from GitHub, because there are so many functions that has been uploaded to that GitHub platform. So while you are running your PyCharm, you want to synchronize some of those functions. That is when you turn on this, and then you want to create, there is a script that comes with your file setup by default, a kind of Python scripts explaining some of the basic things like how you can print, how you can do one or two things. So if you are a first timer and you want to get those knowledge, you also check it. They are optional, it's not compulsory. What is compulsory is your name and then specify the location. So you need to have an idea of which folder exactly in my system will be holding this project, so that in case I want to copy the file to another system to continue the journey, you should know the folder. This is drive C, user Aguero. So in other words, if I go to my user account on this system, there is a folder called what? PyCharm projects. So every file that we are creating will be attached to it. So I can take it from there. And then interpreter is very important. Interpreter is what will be, converting or making your code executable. So it's compulsory that you add interpreter. So what is the type? Project what? Event, that is the code. And then we have base conda environment. So these are different environments you want to work with, maybe base Anaconda. That is what is abbreviated to Conda. So depending, so now, well, let's stay on the default setting and then you click on create. So the moment you click on create, is currently telling us that there is a file running, which is this one that I've opened. To proceed to main, what do I want? Proceed main is running. I can say, okay, terminate, or don't show me this again. So let's wait. So if you are learning Python for programming purpose, not for data analysis, even here, there are a lot of online platforms where you are learning, maybe like all these, is it NestForce, maybe, I call them Coursera, and some other online platform. They will have connected you, so they will give you the option, whether you go with Anaconda or you go with Python. So depending on the one that work best for you, all of them can run Python code perfectly. It's just a matter of choice. So why sometimes, if I'm just learning just programming, I prefer using Visual Studio Code because it's lighter. It does not make your system to be slow. But all these ones, we all know that they are very heavy. I hope you are still with me. That's if my network is not, see that is it. Can you all hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay. All right. So you can see, so finally we have set up the file. So these are the default file where we check that option the other time. So even I do not want them, then if you escape that option, you wouldn't have find them here. So now, but you can delete all of them to start your code from scratch by highlighting and deleting. So all these, they are like pre-written code trying to explain one or two things. So you can see that you are running from your file name. Okay. So from here, let me quickly explain this IDE before we go back to our language. Now, this is an app. Being an app, you are expected to know how to work around it. Now, this app is divided into various sections. As you can see, we have this first section, which define our file structure. And then we have here, this is our development environment. This is where we are allowed to write our Python code. Now, after writing my Python code, how do I execute it? For example, if I say Python print a string, and what is the string? Welcome to DG Tech Zip Hub. So this is Python code, and I want to execute it. You see this icon? This is the icon you click to run your Python code while you are here. And you can see the shortcut attached to it. You simply press Shift and F10 on your keyboard if you don't want to be coming here. So once I run my code, another interface will open, as you can see it here. So this is your output section, while this is your development section. Here is your file section. This is where you can know your file structure. I hope that is clear. Please let me get a response. Are we still following?
Please, can you repeat that? I didn't get what you're saying. And this output is showing process finish with
Yes, that is what I'm trying to explain. What I'm trying to show you here is that I'm trying to familiarize you with the application interface so that whenever you write Python code, you know where to run it. So I actually wrote this Python code, which is to print a string. and the string is welcome to Digitech Zeal Hub. Then after writing it, for us to see the results, to print it, let's say we have a user application interface. This is like the back end where you are developing, and then whatever you are developing here is expected to be outputted to them. But here we are using terminal here to see the result, what is expected to be displayed to users. Okay, so you click on this icon. This is what I am emphasizing on. So I want you to know that whenever you write Python code, this is where you come to click in order to get the results displayed. Is that clear?
Yes, please.
All right, so now we understand it. Let's quickly go back to our programming. So the first thing I want to explain to us is comment is very important. We understand what is comment in programming. So comments are narrations. They are texts which we use to explain our code either to a third party or yourself as a programmer. Okay, so how do we write comment in Python? How do we write comment in Python? All you need to do is to hit the shift button and press letter 3. So that will give you a symbol like this. So this is a comment. So which means that you are telling the program that anything that comes after this sign is just to describe your code. The program should not bother about it. It should not be executed. That is what we are saying. So if I say, okay, let's say welcome. Welcome to Python class. Welcome to Python class. So if I run the code here, what would happen? Nothing what came out here, which means that what? Python is not concerned with this. This is just a comment. Okay, so let's take note of that. So we want to quickly dive into variable concepts. Let's quickly start with variable concepts. So the first thing I want to teach us here is, though I'll be using variable to explain some of the concepts I want us to understand, but mind you, remember, this is learning the language itself. We have not started applying it for data analysis. We're only trying to understand the language first. So they're what we call data types. Data types. So I'm combining data type and variable together as two different topics because learning just data type without confirming them through the use of variable will be difficult for a beginner. So that is why I'll be using comment, and I expected you to be taking your notes. So we are looking at data type in Python / variable concepts. So what do we mean by data type? Let's look at it this way. The word data itself means information in this context. Though we are taught.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm with you. Go ahead, sir. I can't hear you. On Impurity, can you hear me? Let me know if it's from his end. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now, but I wasn't hearing you properly. It was lagging.
Okay. All right. So you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
So I wanted to let you know that
Okay. That
I
you
hear you clearly.
okay. All right. All right. So let's quickly dive into data types. So I was trying to break it down that data type or data itself means information. I want us to see from that angle. Now, every programming language requires data for programming. So if you speak Python, in other words, you know how to program with Python, then it is expected that you understand the information used in programming with Python. Now, these data types that we want to discuss cut across almost all the programming languages out there. So which means that once you understand them here, you have automatically understood them across other programming languages. The only differences you might say is the mode of communicating them, but definitely they mean the same thing. All right. So like I was saying, they actually mean the same thing. So let's quickly categorize this data type. In Python, since we are learning Python, the entire data types can be broken into two types. The entire data type can be broken into two types. That is what are types of data now. We have what we call a primitive data type. And then we have a composite or reference data type in Python. So, but in this section, I want to start with the primitive. Now, why they are called the primitive, they are basic data type. They are basic data type or primary data type. So these are inbuilt data type. All these data type are already embedded in the language library. The language has already acknowledged them within itself. And that is why they are referred to as the basic or primary what? Data types. So example of this, the first one we are going to work with is called strings. So how do we define string in Python programming? What is string? So we can simply define string as a character-based data type. Character-based data type. What do I mean by character? Like tests. So in other words, we can change it from string if it's too advanced to what? Text what? Type or data type. And there is no way in programming that you will not go through what? This. Okay. Now, like I said, I am using variable concepts to explain them because all these data type has different principles of acknowledging them in variable. So what I want us to know here is that variables are containers you as a programmer creates for holding values within the program memory. Variables are containers you create as a programmer for storing values or holding values within that program. Perhaps you need those values in the course of your programming. Those values will be called from the variables. So anytime I use the word variable, just understand that we're talking about storages that are created for holding value. Another way we can define variables so that we can understand why variable is that variables are used to introduce, external values, information that are not within the program. Okay, you have a question, sir? Go ahead, sir. Or is it time for the break?
Yes. No. My question is this. So, just like you define variables as the container using holding values.
Yeah.
So, um, will it now be safe to say that variables, so variables, when we're talking about variables, because we talk about the primitive type of data.
Yes.
So, and the strength test is not a value. So we will not use. Are we using variable to store string as well, or just values, or is the string a value in Python?
Yes, a string is a type of data which can be a value that could be stored in a variable. So as we are going, you understand it. I hope you understand it the way I just explained it now.
Until we get there.
Okay, good. So we are going now. The practical we are going to do in a moment. We answer that your question direct. I just want us to have the background first. Okay, so I think I was still talking about the string. And like I said, we are learning two topics at the same time. We are learning data types, and we are also practicalizing them with variable concepts. So now I will try to explain that these different data types has rules for storing them as value in your variable. So let's quickly, but before that, just to explain the string, some of the rules and regulations for working with strings as a data type is that, for example, if I print, for example, I want to print a string. In other words, I want to print text. I want to print a string that say what? Welcome to Digitech Z Hub. So there is a function. So this particular print is a Python inbuilt function for outputting your results. Now, what type of data do you want the print function to output? If it is number, there is a way you pass it in. If it is a string, there is also a way you pass it in. So we are coming to that gradually. So now for string, there are rules for printing or storing string in a variable. The rule number one is that it must be in quotes. You must quote it. So that is how you tell the program that this particular data is a string. This rule cut across all programming languages. For example, now I can use single string like this or double string. Python will accept it. So now the value now, which is a string, let's say I want to store Digitech. Okay, so this is what I want to print. Now, why did I put it in quotes? Because it's a string. So as a programmer, once the term string is used, because subsequently I will be using words like create a string, not add quotation. So once you hear that string, it means that, oh, to create string in programming, it requires putting it in what? Either the single quote or the double. Now, to run it, you click here and then you get your output here. So what you just printed is a string. Is a string. So it's the same thing as, like I said, I can say, okay, print another string value using the double quote, just for you to understand that both of them works. So I can say, okay, I want to print what? Welcome to my Python master class. So you can see the difference between this string and this string is this one I'm using double, and here, sorry, single, and here I'm using Python will execute both of them. So both of them are executed. Okay. So now there are some techniques that I want us to understand here. There are some techniques. Now we can print, and the first technique, that is what? All these techniques, they are important when you are working with string. I'm still coming to variable concepts, but I just want us to master the elementary stage of it first. So now you can see that if I want to print, there's a logic I want to, let's say we want to print hello world. Let's say I want to print hello world. Sorry. Hello world. And if I run it, you can see that what it printed once. Now, if I want to print it 3 times, there's a logic that I want to introduce here. Let me copy it, Control V to paste it, Control V to paste it. Now, if I run it, it's going to print what? Hello world, hello world, hello world in 3 places. In 3 places. Now, there is a short way of printing this instead of you engaging 3 lines of code. There is a technique you can use to print these same 3 words, but with 1 line of code like this, with 1 print instead of using 3 word prints. That is the logic I want us to learn. So let me use comment to explain it. We can print all, we can print all the what? The hello word, or the hello word with. So this is the function we are going to use. Is a kind of property which is a backward slash and then n. So which means what? New line, which means new line. So in other words, once you bring it in within the string, it means that anything that comes after it should be printed in a different word line. So let's look at how I'm going to print the 3 hello world using, as in with 1 print function, using the what? The Python new line property. So I will just type print and then acknowledge it as a string and type the hello world. Type the hello world. So immediately after this one, you are still within the string. You now bring in the backward and the word n. So which means that any other value that comes after it will be printed. This one should be in 1 line. Whatever that comes next should be in a different line. So that's what you are saying. So another one is hello world. Remember that we want to print 3 hello. The same thing we achieve with those 3 print command. We want to use 1 print command with the help of the Python new line command to achieve it. So hello world. So I'll bring in another one because I want to print 3 of them. So hello word. All right, so if I run this code now, let me delete all this one. So if I run this code, you see that what? The same thing that we got the other time. Using 3 different print command, we have here with what? Just one print. Are we together? Are we together?
Yeah.
So can we try it? Can we try it? Either you are using
Yes, please.
Okay, so just try it. Try it now. You can share your screen. Let me see what you are doing there. On Purity, hope you are also working with your laptop. I believe you have Anaconda installed in your system. So you can use Anaconda to run this same code. It's not only in PyCharm. So let me give us 5 minutes to run this. Meanwhile, if you can share your screen so that I can see what you are doing there. Please, anybody share your screen, go ahead. Please, who is sharing screen? Let me know that you are working there. If somebody should share screen, I'm waiting.
Hello, sir.
I can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear me, sir?
Yes, yes.
Sir, please, it's not that I just opened our Anaconda because I was just listening to what you're teaching.
Okay.
So I don't know the particular one to go in with now. So I want you to show me. I want to share
That
screen
is
so
why I
that you
say
can
you
show
share
me.
screen. Share your screen. Let's look at it together. I've already enabled you. Share. Go ahead and share your screen.
Can you see it?
Yes.
So which of them now?
Jupyter Notebook. Click on Jupyter. Click on Jupyter. Yes. Launch it. No, the button. Yes.
That Pasha is there. Is it this much? Okay, this Pasha.
Once you have clicked, you hold on. It's coming up to come up. Just give it. I think I can see that it has opened a
The
window.
Pasha is there too.
No. Don't click on the partial. That one you have to install it. You can see that it's not showing launch, it's showing install, which means that you have to install it. So you can install it later. Open up this window. Let's see what is there. Good. Now, you are expected to anyway. When we get to the analysis aspects, I will take care of that. But since it's just to practice Python code, Now, click on specify where you want to store the file. Open desktop. Open desktop. Just double click on desktop. I can see it from the list.
It's open.
Okay, click on new. Click on new. Where you have a upload, there is a new there, not up there.
New file. So
Yeah, click on
I should go to new file.
yeah, no. Click on notebook. Notebook, the first one. The first one.
It's open.
Or yeah, type your name. Yeah, don't worry, just click on the select. Click on select from the option. Click on select. Or yeah, that place you have on title. Click on it. On title, click on it and give it a unique name. On title up, yes, tap it. Now type your name, the name of this file, in case you want to continue with it next time. Just go ahead and type your name. Don't worry. Then after typing, just click on rename. Click on that rename. Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes. Oh yeah, that code that we run now, create your comment here, shift and 3. Then run that code. Hope you have written it down. Run that print. So you can go ahead and write your code now in that box. I cannot see you writing anything. No. Click inside that box. Create your comment, what you are learning, or just go ahead straight to, just go to the prints. So on share your screen, let me show you what you'll be writing. In case you have not written it down, let me share my screen so that you can be seeing it. Just on share your screen. So this is what you have to be writing. So write this code the way it is in that box. I believe Oga is doing the same thing.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I hope we have all confirmed that. Please, let's quickly do that. Let's quickly do that so that we can proceed. I just want us to do something.
So hold on small. No?
Move it down. Are you with me? Put the cursor, or you can even add another cell. Just that I'm not using Anaconda because I've explained some of these things in the last class. Are we together now? Oh, that is understood. Purity. Hello. Can you hear me, Mommy Purity? Please, I need to know so that we can move forward. Please, let's always be fast when I give you classwork. Are we together?
Hello, you there?
Okay, I can hear you, sir. Okay, so let's proceed. I believe maybe she has left her phone. That is for, let me share my screen now so that we can continue.
So.
Let's continue. What I was telling you is that if you want to add comment, you see, just like, are we still here? Sorry. So, like I was saying, I wanted to correct her before I proceed. Now, if you want, you were asking how can you add a comment? Now, you will have written the comment. You can see that I wrote the comment first before the live code. So, since you have written the comment, what you do is that you just go before the P, put the cursor before the P and press enter. Press enter in your own Anaconda. Once you press enter to shift it down, then you will now have space at the top. Then you now press shift and 3. Shift and 3. That is what will give you the comment lines. But let's continue. Okay, so that is for us to understand what is called string. What is called string in Python. Now, let's quickly talk about strings concatenation. String, I still want us to understand some basic things before we go into variable. But you will now see the essence of growing like this before you start working with variables. All right, so just a second. So let me also use comment to explain string concatenation. So what do we mean by concatenation? To concatenate simply means to join, That is the literal meaning of concatenation in programming. So when you are writing code and somebody say concatenate, what the person is directly telling you is what? Join. That is, you have two separate entities and you want to join them together in order to achieve a purpose. Okay, so but in this context, it means that we want to join two different strings. So all of this is for you to be acquainted to the program. So the concept here is that for you to know the operator for concatenating. Operators are symbols in programming which are used to perform different operations. So let's get that right, even though I am going to take care of that. So let's assume that I want to output hello Prosper. Hello is a different word and Prosper is another word. So, but when both of them are outputted, I want them to be outputted together as if they were programmed together. So that is where I want to bring in the concatenation concept. So the syntax for concatenating, is, for example, like I said, I want to print hello Prosper. So I'll type print. Now, the hello, the first word is hello. The first word is hello. Okay? Now, I'm not going to say hello like this, Prosper. This is not concatenation. But what I want to acknowledge them as two different string. So that I am joining together. So which means that after this particular string, remember I said, as I continue, anytime I use the word quotation, I will not be mentioning quotation. Instead, I will be using what? String. So anytime I use string, you know that I'm talking about the text in quote. So this hello is one of the string. So I'll, sorry, so let me clarify my voice again. Hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? If somebody should respond quickly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you now, but the network has not been very friendly, to be very honest.
Okay. Though is our weather here. Okay, but can you hear me? I just want to make sure that you are hearing me clearly first.
Yes,
Just
I can hear you for now.
I just switched to another network. So in case along the line, this one is
Oh,
you
okay.
know. Okay. So this is a string on its own, and then I want to concatenate it with another string. So which means that what we are emphasizing on is this plus. This plus means concatenation. So let's say prosper, prosper, hello plus prosper. So these are two different strings. They are not one. So if I run the code, the outcome will be the two words printed together, no space, no space. But that is a good challenge for us to understand how to concatenate space. So if I want to concatenate, because this is what came out from that code. So how do I concatenate space? It means that between that will take us to, it means that between this plus, between this uh, plus, we need to add another empty string. Empty string. So I'll come up with another empty string like this, and then make sure that you concatenate it. You add the plus. You add the plus. After that, now remember that I need to also give this its own complete string. So if I run the code again, you see that what we have created space. So I want you to quickly try this concept for in just 2 minutes I'm giving us. Try this concept quickly. So 2 minutes, I expect once you are done with your, please kindly notify me so that I can proceed.
So, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead. Go ahead. What do you
So
want?
let me share. I've forgotten. Okay.
Please, you are already on the automatic share. Once you are having any issue, just go ahead and share.
Okay, now to enter another, like I have only line one now, to have line two to start the second work. Now, what will I do?
I say go ahead and share your screen. I can't see your screen yet. Whenever you want to complain like that, please,
Okay,
maybe
sorry.
you don't need to
I've
ask.
shared the screen.
Okay, maybe I'm the one. Okay, okay. I've stopped sharing now. I can see it. I hope all is going well with Oga there. Okay, come again with that your question.
I'm trying to. My It's not running yet.
Okay, so come again with that your question, which is
So I've created the space where I will write my comments. To
oh,
move to the second row to start doing the second work now. What will I do?
can you use your cursor to be pointing to what you have okay, how you can move from here to do
This
this?
space now is where I will complete the remaining comments.
Okay,
This is where I will write the remaining comment before you give us work. So I
well,
leave this one pending. Let me do the work. But to enter line two now, I'm finding it difficult to enter.
okay, now press shift button on your keyboard and press enter. Press shift on your keyboard and press enter.
This question will be anywhere
Yes, where you are
or
now.
the last.
No, where you are now, just go ahead and press shift and enter. Hold down the shift button and hit the enter button. Good. Is that what you're
Okay.
asking?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Write it down. Oh. Anyway, I know you have grabbed it.
I remember. But okay, let me unshare so that I will see the question you gave us. So let me see your screen now. Let me.
Yes, yes, I just did that. Now it's
Okay.
coming up.
Okay. So the question is string concatenation, Abi.
Yes, you have to execute from here. From here, just execute.
Okay. Okay. The other one is comments.
I don't know if you are still here, sir. Hello, sir. Think you see. My purity, hope you have executed the code.
I'm still typing.
Hello, sir.
I wanted you to share your screen, or have you rectified the issue you're having?
Okay, let me share it now.
Share your screen. Let's see what you have even done so far.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, I'm seeing some errors here. And the error says print is not defined. Print is not defined. Okay, so print is not defined. What you will do to correct this error is to run your entire notebook all over to initialize everything again. So go back to click on run where you can see run. So your screen is so
Yeah.
small. Click on run. No, not that one. The run arrow, the one they wrote run. Click on it. Yes. Now select the option that
Okay.
says run all cells. Down. That option that says run all cells. Good. Click on it. Let's see if you are still having that error. You are still having the error. Okay, print.
Yeah.
I don't think you have any spelling error here. Oh. Now see where the error is between the hello.
Okay.
There is an empty string you have there. Can you recreate it? Let me see. There is an empty string.
Yeah, it's done. I've recreated it.
Okay. Oh yeah, run the code. Let me see again. Since your code is correct, I'm trying to find out what could be the cause. Okay, what you would do is that, please, can you clear it and write it again? Let me be sure. And use double string. Let me see. Please, if you can hear me, just do it again. Just clear the whole of that code and write it again. Yes, clear everything.
Okay.
The first string, use double string. Use double string. Let me see. Use double. So when you are debugging, try one option, you try another option.
Yeah, I have challenge with this laptop because the the keys are not corresponding with the symbols. Like
Oh.
now I'm on the this thing, I'm pressing the double string, it's giving me just one. So I need to
No, you hold
study
that.
the keyboard properly.
And what you do, click on, just press down the shift key. The shift key, then before you press that.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what you are pressing.
Yes, it's yes, that's what I'm pressing, and it's giving me if I even press it, it's giving me at, you know.
Okay.
So if I just press only that one, so I need to
Take time
locate
to
later, I need to
understand.
locate where the double
All right.
spend is. Yes, so that is why. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so
So
let's.
but we can continue. I will sort it out.
Okay, that's okay. Just make sure you're writing down your code. Mommy Purity, Alpha. I think we have confirmed your own now, so you cannot share your screen, sir. Let's continue. Mommy Purity, I believe. Okay, so I just wanted us to understand what is
I've not gotten the question. I've not gotten the question.
Which question? This is it now, string concatenation. This is exactly what you are writing now. And I said, if you were following me, I said concatenation means joining two or more strings together. And what we have done here now, we have joined the two strings. One is hello, the other one is prosper. Which question are you looking
I'm
for?
not seeing your screen. Oh.
You have to stop sharing if you are sharing. Or let me reshare again. Because I believe you should be able to see it now. I have reshared now. Can you see it now? Please confirm. Mr. I would like to know that your name so that what I'm seeing here is a user. How far, my Purity, have you seen my screen? I don't know if she can still hear me. Can you see my screen? I was asking if you can see my screen. Mommy Purity, please, can you see my screen now?
Zori logo I'm seeing.
Sir, can you see my screen? Because I've been sharing since.
I can see you now.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to. All right, let's continue. Let us continue. So we are only trying to understand some basic.
Sir, wait, sir. Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello. Plus. Okay.
Go ahead.
That's it. So hold on a little bit. Plus. Plus. Empty square. Square. Okay, I'm good now.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's quickly look at what we call indentation. Let's look at what we call indentation. So this is one thing that Python does not tolerate. So you need to be aware of it. Let me use comment to explain.
Okay.
Please just give me a few minutes. Let me see if I can fix this. Yes. No. What it printed out is not what we are supposed to see. Yeah, like your screen is too small. I don't know how you reduce it.
Can you see it now?
You printed out, this is not what is expected. What we are supposed to see, just hello, prosper, not having those asterisk you put there, those asterisk, that is not what should be there. It's strings, double quote, that is what should be there.
Okay, I'm not seeing. All of them is called double quotes.
No, not that one. After the plus, those asterisk that you put there, that is not what should be there. And you put another asterisk before, that one should have its own separate string. the opening string is not there. That very place you are, add the closing, the opening string. No, you have the closing, but you don't have the opening. Add another double string there. Remember, each time I use the word string, I'm referring to quotation. That is what I've told you before. No, that is single. Your closing string is double, so the opening must be double. So what you do is that you are having issue, the button you are pressing is not what you should press. That one is for the closing, the opening of the closing string. Maybe you have to, I thought you are writing this thing down now. You're supposed to be writing them down. No, please, all these things should be written down so that if you have an issue, look at it the way it is in your note. When I'm teaching, be writing them down. Okay, so what you are having now is that what you do now, just delete the whole of that place. Good. Just type the prosper inside that one, then delete the other one. Delete that one, delete that one. Now,
I should delete the.
no, it's okay now. Leave that one. What I want you to do now, look at where you have asterisk after the plus, after the first plus, in fact, you just mix them up. You are not supposed to have asterisk. You are supposed to have the same string quotation, ma. After hello, what sign is that one? It shouldn't be that sign.
Okay, I have seen the mistake. Okay. I'm not seeing your screen that time. That's why.
All the places where you added that asterisk, delete them, please.
I will correct it now.
What you will have done, the same thing you did for the other one, clear all those things from there, delete everything from there, then do it again. Type the hello word inside those two strings. Then, no. Even after,
Is it okay now?
After the plus, you are still using a wrong notation. After delete all those things.
Okay, all of them is asterisk.
Yes, not asterisk. All of them are string. String means single quote or double quote. We are not doing anything with asterisk here. Delete that other asterisk. Delete the other one too. Delete that one. Add double quote. Add double quote, but it should be empty. Nothing should be inside. Type it there. Type this way you open. Or you space it. Inside it, space it. Then come to where you have the plus. Reduce that space. The last plus. The last plus. Close up. Run your code now. Let's see what you get. Please write this down. Write this down. You are supposed to be writing down. No? Execute this line of code. Good. Perfect. This is what you should get. Did you understand?
Okay, sorry, I'm not seeing your screen very well that time.
Okay, so let's proceed.
Okay, thanks, sir.
All right. Hope you are seeing the screen now, please. Let's confirm. Are you seeing it now?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm seeing it now.
All right. So let's look at I was talking about indentation. Is another thing we need to understand when programming with Python. So we need to know what is called indentation because there are some errors that can be generated just because your indent is not correct or just because you are using wrong indentation. Indentation simply means the space before the line of your code. The space before the line, just like giving a paragraph space. For example, look at what you have here. If I space here now, you see that what Python has just alerted an error. How do I know? Look at this place. If I run this now, you get an error. And what does that error say? Indentation error. So that in case you are running Python code and you come across this, so you know where to debug. Remember, we are learning debugging. Debugging, like I've established before, It's just the art of when your code is run and is not giving you the expected result. As a programmer, it's part of your responsibility to search out where the error is and also be able to fix it. That we call debugging. Every programmer learn that skill alongside with other things. So whenever you see an error like this, you must learn to understand the interpretation of that error. So you come to your terminal and check, oh, the space, and you can see that what Python has already indicated. So once I close it, you see that what that error disappear. So that is indentation. Always make sure that you do not run into that challenge. I just want to bring it to our notice. All right. So now, let's look at another thing I want us to. So we learn the concept of the, what is it called? We learn the concept of the new line, which is what this backward slash and n. So whenever you see it in Python code, now you understand what it does. So the next thing we want to look at, which is gradually taking us to a variable. Now, the next thing is impute function, right? Impute function. Impute function. I'll tell us the reason why we want to introduce this. Impute. Now, I want you to take note of something here. I want to believe that Oga Joseph is here. Before I continue, I've not heard from him for. Oga Joseph, are you still here? Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, I just want to confirm whether you have gone for the. You let us know when it's time for the break. All right. So now, if you look at what we did here now, I supply. While you were printing out, you have already given the name Prosper. That is because you know the person's name. What about if you are developing application where you don't even know who is going to, who should be greeted hello, but you know that definitely somebody will visit the website and it's that person that you want to say hello to, not the person you have known, like in this case. So which means that this is hard coding. That is, for every time the person visits maybe that app, you must ask the person's name manually and then impute it and start coding. That is hard coding. But we want to program it in a way that with this impute function, in a way that the name will be collected dynamically. That is what we are providing a bus, a test bus, that once the app pop it up, the person work or role is just to impute his or her name inside, and then it will now display what? Hello, that name. So which means that we must have pre-programmed the hello, waiting for the name to be received, and then print it out. So that is the concept of the impute function. So how do we define the impute function? So the impute function is used to collect users' information. Like I said, we should be writing all this down. It's used to collect, users' information. Okay. Now, what is the syntax? What is the syntax? So what is the syntax? So the syntax is simply, you call the function name impute. You see that if you are typing this impute, if you type, those of us using Anaconda, if you type IN, you are not going to get what? The prompt like this. because that is not sole Python IDE. So these are some of the advantages of using PyCharm, because since the whole of this app is customized for Python, then most of the Python code or default code or keyword exist within it than other ones. So once I type input, I can just click on it, but let me type it full because of the one you are using. And you open the bracket. Okay. Now, what do we want it? Remember, what this is going to create, just like your website, where you put somebody's name. So that input will provide a text box like this to the user to input their name. And then once I collect the name, I will now output hello, that name. That is the concept. That is the concept. Okay. So now let's quickly go back there. So I will write inside, I'm collecting a kind of placeholder. So that placeholder is just like giving them an idea, asking them a kind of question that will lead to fetching that data from them. So I will write, what is your name? What is your name? Put question mark there. So this is strategically way of collecting their name or triggering them to input their name in the input box. So now, if I run this command, look at what the user gets. You can see it now. What is your name? What is your name? Now, the person will now come here. You now come down to your terminal. And then once you type your name, let's say what? My name is Prosper. And I press. Now, look, I want to take note of it. This icon have changed. You will not get it like that in the Anaconda you are using. So I think the assignment I'm giving to us is, before the next class, try and see if you can install this IDE, the PyCharm, so that you can work with them flexibly. Now you can see this icon. Instead of showing that it has been executed completely, when we run this other code, we are not having this icon. What we got was finished. That's what the code has finished. Now, which means that as you run this code, so some part of the code is still pending. That is the meaning of this icon. That, okay, you have outputted what is your name, but you have not completed the operation because the user have not given you the data. So once the user have supplied the data and then you go back and click, you will now see that what it will now display the name. So when you get something like this, which is what main is not allowed to run what? Parallel. Will you like to stop running once? So let's see if this way. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so it's asking, what is your name? Let's say Prosper. So that is, you will not get that error from that particular notebook that you are writing. So you can be doing your own. Let me see how I can rectify this. So let me stop the main first and see. But you should go ahead and be running it. It will work for you there comfortably. Because of the interpreter nature of this, that is why I'm getting this error. So let me see. Okay, so what you are supposed to do, once you have typed the name, instead of you clicking here, just press enter if you are using a PyCharm. But I believe yours will have given you what is expected. So somebody should try it. Please copy this code now, because I'm going to allow you to share your screen. I want to see how it's responding with your IDE over there. So have we taken note of that, or has anybody confirmed it before now? I want to see how you'll be able to handle this issue over there. Let me get a response, please.
So when we copy the code, what will we do?
Execute it now. You have to copy it in your notes because I will switch from my screen so that you will run this line of code. That is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You have to work alongside. It's a master class, so as I'm doing it, you are doing it. Except in some cases where if I want to accumulate them, I can just run through them, then allow you to work the letters as a class or assignment. But everything I'm doing, since you open your notebook there, you are supposed to be running the code alongside with me. Have you copied it out so that I can switch from here? I want you to share your screen. I want to see how it's going to react on your own.
I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, so let me see.
I've already shared my screen, but it didn't.
Don't
I
worry,
run it.
I'm
It
here now.
didn't give me anything.
Okay, so what is your name? No, now you acknowledge it as comment. That means you did not understand when I explain comment. Once you add a hash, you are saying that Python don't run it. So remove that hash from there and run the code again. See, you should understand the appearance of live code and comment code. Look at the live code. They are the ones showing red. Good. You can see the way this your ID is showing it. Now, Oya, type the name. Type the name. I think this one is more user friendly. Type the name.
So where will I type the name now?
That place the cursor is blinking. Type your name there. You can see
Okay, which name will I type?
Okay, type Prosper. Since you are looking for names. Type Prosper.
Hey.
You're not having Prosper again. Okay. Press enter. Press enter. Good. So you can see it now.
Okay. What is your name?
Yes.
Okay.
So
he answer with comments.
Yes.
With quotation.
Yes. So what we are learning here now is how the input works, because I said it is used to collect user input. It's not like the first code where we have already supplied the name. This time around, we want to collect the name dynamically as let the user be the one to impute it. Sir, if you are with us, please, can I also say, you say you are still having issue with your keyboard the other time. Imputing, you can unshare. Sir, can we proceed, or you are able to do something?
Yes, please proceed. Okay, let me share my what's okay. Can you see my screen, please?
It's coming up. It's coming up. Okay, I can see that you are having error. What is your name? Okay, it had put it actually. You were having error before.
That was the previous error on that hello Prosper.
Okay. So that means it has also worked for you. It has also worked. Okay, let's proceed. Let me proceed. All right, so we are progressing gradually. Now, from the command prompted, you discover that we were able to collect the user input this time around, not programming the person's name. So even if we don't have prior knowledge about the person's name, we can program a text box to collect the person's name and store it. But in this case now, do you know that what you outputted is not stored anywhere within the program? It's not stored anywhere within the program. That is why we are going to bring the concept of variable, because this is just an output. So if I close this particular app now, we will no longer have access to all this information. That is what it means. That is what it means. So if, for example, in the future, I am still going to need the name that I just collected from the person, then it means that we need to store that name in a variable. We need to store that name in a variable. But before we go into that, I don't want the name to just be outputted. I want a kind of greeting just to achieve the same thing that we did here. Hello, Prosper. instead of just after collecting the name. After collecting the name, we will just display the name just like the way it has displayed. I want to program a kind of greeting term, hello, and then once I receive the name, it will now be hello, that name. So how do we achieve that? That is the next task. So the next task is now we want to greet the user and allow him or her to respond by providing their name. Now we want to greet the users and allow him or her to respond by providing their names. So what will be the syntax? That is what? Greeting the users and allow them to provide their name. To provide their name. Please just give me. So like I said, let's greet the users and allow them to provide their name. So the syntax is going to be print. So print that particular greeting word, you capture it. So this is concatenating the greeting and the name we want to collect from them. So remember, we just finished learning the concept of concatenating. That is what we concatenate using what? Plus. So after that, I will now call the input. Now call the input function. Input function inside the same print command. So in other words, you will have printed hello, waiting for their name to come in. Once the name comes in through the input function, then it will now display what? Hello, that name. So, but before that, you want to collect the name by asking a question like, what is your name? What is your name? What is your name? Okay, so this is just like nesting a sub function in the main function. So in this case now, the main function is the print, and the sub function is the what? The input. And then of course, this is directly inside the what? The print. So if I run this particular code, check what happened. So it's asking for what? What is your name? So I'll type the name Prosper and then press enter. So what you get now, let me see. What is your name? So you can try there. What is your name? Comment. So I need to know which one is actually, let me comment this out first. Just want to be sure. Let's get only one. Okay. Yes. So you can see it now. Hello, Prosper. Hello, Prosper. Okay. So I believe that is clear. And if it is clear, please, I want you to confirm it also from your end with the IDE you are using. Are we together? So I need to confirm if that is clear.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So that is how to go about that. Now, so which means that for any reason you update this, it will also what update automatically. And of course, for the name, we have to collect it dynamically or real-time. All right, so now we can now bring in variable. We have played around how to use comments, how to use Python print, and then how to use the input function. But we have to bring in the concept of variable here. Why do I need the variable? Why do I need the variable concept? Like I was saying before, this particular output, if we are asked, where is it stored within the program? Nowhere. So this is just a display what output, but we want to store it. So that is where variable comes in. So let's look at that. Python variable. I expect you to be taking notes of what we are doing. Python variable concept. So let me just re-echo the definition of variable. I said variables are used to hold values. Are used to hold values. That is one fact we need to understand. Variables are used to hold value. For example, now we want to hold the whole of this information we just outputted within the program, so that in the course of my programming, anytime I need this information, I can always call it because I have acknowledged it in the program memory. So that is why variable is very important. Now, for example, let's say what we collected is the person's name. What we collected is the person's name. Now we want to store. Our concept or our idea is that we want to collect the user's name and store it in a variable. So let's say if it's happened to be maybe an app, probably to document your client names. So once somebody visits that app, you ask the person, what is your name? And when he or she gives you the name, you save it in your database where you can always call them out. So in that case, I will say name, for example, name is going to be the variable because that is what we want to collect. So the whole of this that we printed, okay, let me just go this way. So I will say what? Imputes, because you want to collect the person's name and then store it in what? Name. Now, we need to understand that variable has 3 sections. The first part of your variable is the name section. The first part of your variable is the name section. And this name, we are advised not to use keywords to name our variable. What do we mean by keyword? You cannot use prints equals to, because prints is a keyword. Keywords are words that are already used to store function within the program. Okay, so in case you want to know how to name your variable, I'm just trying to explain the rules now. You should not use keyword, and a variable should not start with number. I can't start my variable naming with what? 1 or 2. If for any reason you are using 2 words to describe your variable, there should be underscore in between them. Let's say I want to put like first name. Let's say I'm going to collect different name. The first one is first name. I should put what? Underscore to separate them. So these are some basic rules, or you merge them together. But here now, I'm just using what? Name. So what do I want to receive? In the inputs, what will be collected and stored in the name variable is that same name. What is your, or let's say what, which state? Let's say which state are you from? So it's a question. Let's say this time around, I want to collect their states. Now, if I run this code, you see that what it has outputted what this. Then the reply, I can say Lagos. So once I run it, sorry, I'm supposed to press enter. Lagos. Then it outputs what? Hello, Lagos. Hello, Lagos. Now, let's comment this out to avoid it outputting this very one. So let me run it again. Which state are you from? Let's say Lagos. I'll press it. Now finish. Which state are you from? Lagos. So acknowledge. Now that Lagos is saved in what? Name. So if we want to see the value, you know, the other time it will have displayed what? Lagos here. But now it's not displaying the Lagos, but it has indicated that the program has finished what? Executing. Why? Because it has saved the name in name. So now we will now use our print method. Print method to print name. So I will put what? Name inside. In other words, now I want to see that name that was collected. So if I run it now, it will now what? So now let's put the name. Let's say Lagos. I press enter. So you can see it now. So we are able to see the Lagos. But initially, it was collected and stored in name. That is variable. So anytime within this program, I want to use Lagos in any part of my program, I don't have to start running it again because I know that Lagos is already stored in name. Any question, please? Do we have question? Please always respond fast. That is how I know that you are here. Do we have question?
Sir.
Yes.
Sir. I have question.
Okay, what is your question?
Okay, name equals to input. Which state are you from?
Yes, that is the data we want to
print name. Is it this one that we run or is this the output?
Now, two of the codes are actually what? Executed. You executed this one. Is the one that helps you or that help the user to provide the name, the Lagos, sorry, the states. Now and that state was.
I will run this one now. This one you highlighted, I will run it.
Yes, of course. This one is to collect the state and store it in name. It will be there. Then this line of code is to display it. That is why you are having this one. Okay.
Okay.
So
okay.
So what, in summary, as far as this particular project is, or rather this file is, we cannot name no other if you want to store other values in this. So we will not name will not how do I put it? So each time you print name, it will give you Lagos. Is that what it means?
Yes. So
that means I cannot store any other thing under name except Lagos.
Yes, that is the standard. But if you try doing it now using the same name, it will accept it, but it will override the first one. Just like
Okay.
Microsoft Word now, when you have saved a file with a name and you are using that same name, Microsoft Word will always prompt you a message. Do you want to override the old one? So if you still go ahead with this same name, it means you have switched the value.
Okay.
But it will allow it. Is that clear?
It's like that print name. Let me show you something.
You want to share your screen?
Like now, that name, print name, I didn't write it
Which state are you
in
from?
my own.
Yes, now look at it here. Which state are you from? Can you hear me, please? Are you still here? Okay, now which state are you from? You have already collected the person's state and the states.
When I run it, you give me that format of something. I wrote Lagos.
Yes, because you have not printed this very one. You have only collected it and stored it in name. Now go down from where you are now. Press enter. Press enter from where you are now. Then type print. Type print. Let's always follow the syntax. I wrote 2 lines of code. And you wrote only one here and you're expecting the result. Then open a bracket. Open a bracket. Type name inside it. Name inside that bracket.
Without syntax.
Yes, we are run the code. Run this line of code again. Let's see what you are going to get. What did you get? We are not seeing it, so.
You're not seeing it.
Oh yeah, now it's asking you to supply the word, the state, right? Oh yeah, type Edu. Type Edu. Let's use different name. Type Edu. Oh yeah, press enter. Run it again. Run. Press enter. Let's good. Can you see it now? Is that understood now?
Yes.
The code have their own different function. The first line is where you are capturing the state. Then you must run that second line that say print, because that is the only way you can display it.
Okay.
I hope that is clear.
Okay.
So
which state are you from? Edo. Okay, still print Edo. Okay.
Exactly. So one is for collecting the data, one is for displaying it.
So apparently the first one is to give it a name, because when a child is born, you first of all give that child a name.
Yeah.
Before, when you call the name, the rest.
Exactly. So it's like you are a teacher. I always like the way you reframe.
Analyze it.
That is nice one. At least you are giving us you're making my work easier for me. Thank you, sir. All right. Now, so I just want to, we are still looking at variable here. We are still looking at variable because I want to make sure that anything that has to do with variable, we sort it out so that in the next class, we look at another data type. If you check, all the data type we are using, see, they are string. I've not used number because we are still coming to number as data type instead of string. Okay, now the next thing I want us to learn is how to check. I hope you are documenting how to check a variable.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Please, can you, when you were talking about Python variable concept, you said it is used to hold values, and you did said the variable has 3 sessions, and you just talked about name. Would it not be wise to give us those 2 others before we continue?
Thank you. That is a nice one. Now, let me just explain that. A variable has 3 sections. The first section is the name section, which is this. The second section is this equal sign. This equal sign in programming is referred to as, so let's say what the section naming parts. That is one. The second section is assignment operators. And the third part is value. Okay, so every variable is expected to maintain this syntax. Now, let me identify these three parts in this variable. This one from here is this one, which I highlighted some principle that you shouldn't use number to start naming. You shouldn't use a keyword. Eventually, you're using two words. Make sure you concatenate them with what? Underscore. This equal sign in programming does not mean equality. In programming, equality means two of it or three. Two of it. That is when you are saying that what is here is exactly what is here. But in programming, where you use just one, you are not saying that what is here is equals what is here. Rather, you are saying that what is here is given to what is here. What is here is assigned to what is here, not equal sign. That is called assignment operator. We'll talk about operator probably in the next class. So you know different mathematical sign that denote different expressions. Now, the value is what we are yet to get from the user. So once the person type in, just like the way she typed in Edona, that is the value that will be assigned through. So this is just like the pipe that we convey the value into this name. This name should be seen as a container waiting to receive value from the user through the assignment. I hope I've explained that enough. Is that clear now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So now let's quickly look at what I wanted to show us, which is how to check variable length. So the idea is that there's a particular Python function that I want us to know. So all these are strategic way of you knowing some of these things to know that what they exists. So now, how do we check the length? The word length means counts the total numbers of characters. Total numbers of characters in a variable. That is what we are indirectly what. So I want to have an idea of how many characters are in the name that was given to me through the input. How many characters? That is what we want to print. So the syntax for writing that, so I'm not going to create another one. I just want to count how many characters are in the name that have been collected and saved in name. So the syntax will be, I will say print. So I will next the function called what? Len. This is actually the focus. Len, that is what I want us to understand. So whenever you want to count value in a variable in Python, we use len function. So what do you want to count with the len is the input that will be received from the users. So which means that inside the len, you will now write your inputs. So you nest it inside. And then what will be counted is the name that will be given to us. So what is your name? what is your name? That is what will be counted. So this time around, it will output the total number of characters in the name collected. So that is what this will give to us. So let me run it. If I run it and it asks for my name, so and I say, okay, Eloho, then I press enter. I press enter. Now, I hope, okay, there's one that, let's comment this out so that we can get the right value. Let me take off this. So you can see, so it counted what? 5, which means that what? A is 1, L is 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is what I wanted to print out. So if I wanted to print only the name, there wouldn't have been need for me to what? To observe the len as a function. So indirectly, if we are asked to define len function in Python, it is a function that helps us to count the total number of items in an array of variable or other data type. Any question? I believe that is also clear. Question, please. There's none. Proceed.
So I didn't get this. What to count and get the 5?
We asked for the user's name, right? Let me run again. Look at this. This input asks for the user's name. And then the user now says, okay, my name is Purity. All right? And then you press enter. Now, as soon as you type Purity, it outputted the total number of letters in that Purity. So if you count Purity, how many letters do we have there? 7.
6. S-P-U-R-I-T-Y. 7. 6.
6, right? But why did it count as 7? Because you left space here. If it's not, let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me clear. Okay, we have already. Let's run it again. Let's run it afresh. So look at it. I don't want to space. So if I type Purity, you see that it's counted what? 6. The reason why the other one counted 7 because we left space, as in I spaced before I type. So it counted that space. I hope that is clear. Are we still here? Mr. Joseph, hope everything is clear.
Yes, please. So my question is this.
And with you, go ahead, sir. You can't hear you.
Can you see my screen, sir?
Oh, okay. Let me unshare. Yes, I can. I can see your screen.
Okay, so each time I want to use the len function, for instance, this was the last code that was written. Which state are you from? So I now use the len function. So I must answer first before it works. Because
Yes.
when I said what state are you from, it gave me a space to input the answer before the len stuff can
It
work.
is the alpha. Okay.
I was thinking it's going to go back to the previous answer that was given.
No. It will output because it's here to receive what to count. That is the reason.
Okay.
So there must be a value for it to count. That is why the input must collect the value first before it will now apply the. Because if you check the code structure, you will notice that we nested the input inside the len. So the input must do its own work, then pass the data to the len to count it. I hope that is clear.
Yeah, clear, please. Thank you.
So let me share my screen.
I know you will share your own too. My purity. Go ahead.
Now let me
Share.
myself. I'm not seeing my work.
Oh yeah, share share your screen. Oh yeah, let's go there. Let's go there. You must do my own as we do for my
So
children. Oh
I'm
yeah,
stuck here.
it's coming.
I'm stuck here now. I should run it first.
Okay. Yes, go ahead. Ron.
Okay.
Ron. Are you running everything? Okay. Oh yeah, good.
Mm.
Oh yeah, type. Type.
What is your name?
Yes. Should I give you name?
Hmm?
I should give you name.
Okay, I want to Prosper now. I know it.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Prosper Junior. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
What
Oh,
else? Enter.
yes. Run it now. Run. It counted 10, right?
Uh,
Including all the spaces
uh,
added. Yes. It's very
I
simple.
should close the space.
No. It counted 10. What you type is not up to 10, but added the space. The space between Prosper and Junior. It counted it. That is
This
why everything is 10.
okay.
Hmm. Can we proceed?
So from what? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we are going to round off soon. But make sure that we take time to practice enough. This is very, very important. All this is to give you Python foundation. So that even if you want to learn any other program that require Python basic knowledge, you have already settled that. Now, I want us to do something as the last thing, which is, let me use comment to explain it so that we understand what we want to do. So they are splitting or splits. So let's say I'll split the above code into variable. Now, what you outputted says is not also stored anywhere. So I want to store it in a variable before counting it, just like what we did now. So I will just say, okay, let's say username is equals to, I'll collect, no, remember I say we are splitting it. We are not putting everything together again. So let me collect the input and store it in a variable, then collect the counting in another variable. Then I'll print which one of them I want to access. So input, your job is to collect the person's name for me. So here I'm trying to make the code more readable. What is your name? What is your name? Okay, so this is 1. Then the next one is length. The next one is length. And length is another variable. And then what are we putting in the length is the function for the counting. And then what is it going to count? The first variable name, which is this one, Control C. So we are only trying to make our code look more organized. So what we have done now is that the whole of this code now, which we joined them together before, we have splitted them. Now we have assigned different rules. So this line of code, just collect the name, store it in user. This length is another variable. Length, the one that will count. What are you going to count? What must have been collected and stored in user? That's why we reference what user. So now we will now print. Can anybody tell me which one we want to print to know how many letters are there? Out of these two variables, which one we are to print? Somebody should unmute and tell me that. Out of the two variables that we created, which one are we going to print to have the number of, to get the counting?
Yeah, the last one.
Good. The last one. So the last one, which is what? The length. The length. The length. That is the one. So if we run it now, you see, now it's asking for the name. Let's say Eguero. Then if I press enter, it counted it. And then it's asking me if I want to supply another name. So I can be counting different names. Once I've counted one, I run it to ask me again, and so on. So what we did here is just to make our code more organized. If you think that adding everything in one line would be tedious, so you can apply that concepts. Any question? Any question?
No, please.
Okay. So I think we have to stop here because if I start another topic, we cannot even complete it. So our next topic, or I think I can conclude one more primitive data type, which is number. Remember that we have been talking about what? String as part of the primitive string, which I said string means in fact, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to let me not bring that, but write it down that in the next class I will continue from number type so that we can look at it in a holistic manner, not that we just paraphrase, so that we can do all the operation, all the calculation on that. So, but let me just find a topic that I can easily cover within the few minutes remaining. So that is what Python is still under string, but it's a subtopic. Python indexing. There is what we call indexing. It's a concept that every programmer should understand. So what do we mean by indexing? Indexing simply means that all values stored in a variable has numerical representation. Are we together? Has numerical what? Presentation. So which means that we store name here. So for example, I think let me create another variable. So let's say our middle name, middle underscore name. And I'm using camel case. Camel case is where the first word all through is lowercase, while the beginning of subsequent word we start with capital letter, and I'm still separating with the underscore, or you close them up. So equals to, so let's say I'm not using inputs. I have an idea of the person's name, so I want to store it directly. There's no point of say giving the person the input box to collect the name. So let's say the name is Jude. The name is Jude, for example. Okay, so if I print middle name, if I print middle name, so these inputs, we need to comment them out. When you notice they are disturbing, just comment them out. Because Python run code from top.
Hello.
All right. So, sorry about that. So if I run this code now again, one more time. So we have what? Jude printed. Now, what we want to learn now is if I am asked to print only J, not to print the entire Jude from this variable, how do we print it out only without printing other information? So for us to be able to achieve that, we have to adopt Python indexing. That is where indexing comes in, which simply means that like I've already defined, that each value in a variable like this J now has a numerical representation, which means that the J is at what? 0. The U is at 1, while the D is at what? 2. And then, of course, the E is at 3. So once you have this understanding as a programmer, then you cannot call them out using those numbers. Because when you print the variable name, it prints out everything. I want to believe that.
Yeah, it's clear. But so you started your counting from 0 rather than
Good,
1,
good.
right?
Exactly. So I want to qualify it. Why in programming we do not recognize first item as 1. It count it this way. Before that item, what do you have, sir? Please, can you unmute and reply me? Because I want us to understand the concept once and for all. Before that G, what do you have?
Yeah, there's nothing there, so one can
Nothing,
assume it's 0.
nothing good. Nothing is equal to what? 0, right? Now, why did we arrive at 1 here? Before the U, how many items do you have? 1, right? That is why we have 1
1.
here.
Yeah.
If you want to count D, why do we arrive at 2? How many items do you have before you count D? 2.
2.
That is the logic. That is the logic.
Okay.
That is the
Okay.
logic. So let me just clear it and continue. So now I want to print. So the task, which is the last task before we end the class, is print only letter. Print only what? Letter J. Only letter J from middle name. Or let's say from Jude, so that we understand. We know that Jude is already in what? Middle name. So the syntax will be, simply be, we will print, but this time around, after you print, because you want to output that value, then you call the name of that variable that is holding that J as part of what you have there. So middle name. So I want you to understand the syntax. Then after this middle name, you will now select using square bracket like this. So in Python, whenever you use square bracket, it means that from the entire container or content, you want to pick some. That is what I've just communicated. So I will now supply the value that represents the letter I want to access, which is what? 0. So putting 0 inside here, if I print now, it's going to print what? Only what? J. I hope that is clear. That is clear, right? Let me get a response.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So that means before you print, you must have
Reference
the numerical and yes, reference.
the name of the variable, then use the square bracket to select the value with the number representing it. Okay, so that is clear. Now, if I want to print from, let's say we call it what? Slicing. This is the last one. Slicing, printing. So let's assume that I don't want to call them out one by one. I want to print in a range. That is what? From 0 to 2. So what we are going to do, the syntax will remain like this. You print, then call the variable name that has those value, and then your square bracket. Then you use, let's say 0 to, you use column like this, sorry. 0 to, 0 to, let's say we put to here. So this is called slicing. So if I run it, it's going to print what? From 0 is what? J, right? 0 is J, and then a 1. 1 supposed to be what? 1 supposed to be, when we label it the other time, J is what? 0, U is 1, and then D is what? 2. But when you slice, you do not get the last value. You can't get it because you are slicing, which means that the cutlass, the value that is resting on, will be destroyed. So if I want to capture D, then I'll put 3. So that is why we are not seeing 2. What we are seeing is what? 1 instead of what? 2. I don't know if anybody understand that.
Yes.
So if I put 1 here now and I run the code, you see what it printed only 1. But meanwhile, we say 0, 1, 1, 2. But instead, because that 1 is the point at which it's slicing, so it will not display it. So this is where we stop. We have covered much compared to our looking at the basic that we need to understand before we move into the most advanced parts. So what we have done so far in summary is us getting familiar with comments, how to use comments in programming, particularly in Python, and then how to use the input function to collect users' information dynamically, and then how to store the collected value in a variable for future use, and then also how to use the Python print command to output value. And then the next thing we also learned was the one I just concluded, which is what? Now you know that in programming, there is what we call indexing. So once you hear it in any programming material, you know what it represents. It means the numerical representation of value in an array or variable or other data type. So there's no question. Your assignment, number 1, if you can, install PyCharm so that you can, if you are able to install the PyCharm, then make sure that you run all this code in PyCharm. If you are not, it's still good. But just make sure that you keep practicing. If there's no question, then we can end the class. Any question?
Sir, please, before you give us assignments.
Okay.
Sir.
Go ahead.
Please check the one I write. So, hello, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm sharing my screen. I want you to cross-check my work to know if there is error.
Go ahead. It's coming up. It's coming up. I can't view it. I'm here to see your screen. Probably from my end. I don't know what I'm seeing. Okay, yeah, it has come up. Okay, explain what you want.
Okay. Okay. You know, you stop the cross-checking from that 10.
Okay.
From split the above code into variable. I do it on my own. I just want you to go through it, please.
Yes, you got it now. You printed, you are correct. You got it. Got it.
The Jude own middle name.
Middle name. That's what you printed now. You printed J now. You printed J.
But the last one, this slicing printing, I still print J. Is this what I'm supposed to print?
Yes, because when you printed 0, you printed exactly what is at number 0. Then when you slice, you say 0 to 1. It will cut off 1 and still give you only 0. If you want to get another value, that place you put 1, put like 2 there. Put like 2 and run the code again so that it will give you more than 1. That is what I just explained the other time.
Oh.
Or I run the code.
Okay.
Run the code again.
Okay. JU.
Good. All right. So, guys, enjoy your weekend. See you next week. Bye for now.